that anything can be called a human right if it is only a women right. As simple as that. Because I think the whole ideology of human rights, unless until we rededicate it and rephrase it and reterm it to women's right, I think the change, to bring the change, it's not so easy. And I think that is the way a woman can start feeling. Because every second point is, every human being born on this earth, he or she does do need a sense of worth and self-esteem. Sense of worth and self-esteem. When a woman is cooking at home, when women is raising her children, when a woman is so much involved into her domestic chores, people usually don't identify. They say, you are a female, you are supposed to do that. There is a kind of a stereotype, gender stereotyping that usually happens. I think we need to relook into it as well. Because sense of worth, because most of the women feel low sense of worth and self-esteem, because from the family, from the space where she's living for almost 24/7, the first dignity has to come from the home. The first dignity has to come from the husband. The first dignity has to come from the children, who understands the work she is doing matters. It does matter, and it only matters. Because if it is not happening, nothing else matters. As simple as that. As simple as that. So I think the most important thing I would like to say is sense of worth and self-esteem for a woman. The first ideal space should be, must be, and should be the home. Because something starts at the home. Because what is a community? It is made up of many homes. And what is country? It is made up of many communities. As simple as that. Because the smallest unit, the basic foundational unit, what we are talking of, if some things can be changed there, and the chain is being taken over, the change happens. It's a chain reaction. As simple as that. When something is not happening at the smallest unit, as simple as that, what is cancer? At the smallest level, at the smallest atomic level, at a quantum level, if there is a disturbance, something is not happening good, the whole body is affected. As simple as that. We say the person has cancer. So the cancer is not something that is on the body, it is something deep down. It starts with the first cell, the tiniest thing, the most tiniest thing in the body. As simple as that. And I think any development, when we talk about a development, the development should start from the foundation. I firmly believe in that. Because unless until the development starts at the foundations, you cannot really take it way forward. What is the point when the government puts up so many policies and so many empowerment programs for women, and at home a woman is still being looked out as a cook? A woman is still being looked out as another domestic servant. It doesn't make a difference. As simple as that. Government policy is a bigger thing, but when the foundations of a building are not strong, there's no point. Nothing can really play. And I think one of the best things recently, I have really appreciated, admired, is like bringing up the age of the marriage age of women to 21 years in the country. Earlier it was 18 for a woman and 21 for a guy. And I always felt that the moment a girl becomes 18, there is a kind of a subconscious stress that it's time for her to get married. By equating the ages, psychologically we are trying to bring in a dimension wherein we state that marriage is not everything. Marriage is one of the things. As simple as that. But creating your own identity in the society, making your own presence in the society, that is everything. Irrespective of the gender. I think with this I end my talk, and I thank all the wonderful dignitaries for patiently listening to me. I'm not sure how much sense I have made in my talk, but whatever I spoke was from the heart, because I always feel that every work and any work should start at the foundation. We don't really have the right to talk big things when we can't correct it at the foundation level. As simple as that. So thank you so much. With this note, I end my talk, and it's such a pleasure to be among you all today. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kavita ma'am. You have given us excellent information. As you said, it is invisible labor where woman is not noticed. They have taken it as a granted work. She has to do. So this kind of attitude has been developed even in the well-modern and educated families, we notice. And even she's not paid for her work, But at the same time, the demands are high during holidays, on Sundays. So they expect a lot from her. That day, this is a holiday. Today is a holiday. What are the specials you're going to do? And no children are ready to support her husband. They feel that that is the holiday for them. They need some physical rest, some relaxation. But most of the family members, as a psychologist, I do observe the families. I notice that only few in families, the husbands and children will support. But in many of the majority of the families, we notice they extract a lot of work on that day. And I'm also an employee. We'll be asking our colleagues, what have you done yesterday? And the list starts from morning. I got up at 4:30 or 5 o'clock, and my work started cleaning the house, cobwebs, this, that. This continues. The list will continue, and that is unpaid labor. No one is recognizing our work. No one is appreciating. At the same time, the work has been burdened. It is burdening her. So, as you said, it is unpaid labor. It has to be eradicated, I feel, right from us. That means a well-qualified, educated psychologist and entrepreneurs, social activists, they have to take up the awareness in the minds of the women that this is invisible labor. You have to reduce. You need your me time and your relaxation time. That's why most of the women, though educated, when they go for medical checkup, they found that a lot of deficiency, calcium deficiency, iron deficiency. So many will be observed, and they will be more vulnerable and weak. But if women fall sick, the total family will be shattered. They knew very well about it, but still they expect a lot from women. When woman is suffering from any health issue, 1 or 2 days she left doing, and everyone start grumbling. Who will do this work? The work has been piled up. So this continues, especially in Indian culture. So this has to be erased from the minds of the family members. As you said, family should respect mother, wife, daughter. If this continues at the house level, home level, this will be continued in the society. If family members disrespect the girl child and not given importance, the society will look her down. So the attitude of the mind of the family members has to be transformed. This is very important. So I feel that a lot of awareness programs has to be taken, even for the educated and modern families to illiterate family. And if we move on to illiterate families, we know the life of the girl child will be more vulnerable. It's very horrible. They never allow her to have good education. As well, you said the labor wages discrimination. So a lot of gap is there that has to be filled it up. As you said, the skills and ability of the woman has to be recognized, and based on the ability and skills, she has to be paid. Except in education field, as a professor, I'm working in an engineering college. My salary and male colleague salary is same. So we are paid equally. No discrimination of male and female. They are recognized. Looking at our skills and ability, our increments will be given. But in other areas, we notice a lot of discrimination in the wages, and even in the organization, the top level organization also we see the discrimination in the wages. So this has to be curtailed. We have to raise our voice and fight our right. As you said, not women right or men right, but human right. As male and female are born on this earth equally, and God bestowed the resources, natural resources, equally to all the men and women. God did not say you're female, you're going to have less oxygen. Never. The resources are equal, but why, being human beings, why we have developed this kind of attitude from where we have learned, though it is a patriotic world, but God or goddesses never shown the discrimination from where we have developed this attitude. I always look at the history. I don't know from where they have adopted. As said, Hindu culture, especially Indian culture, the gods male gods are high. So there we have seen the dominant nature of the god might have adopted. But what about the other countries? There is no such kind of so many thousands of gods and goddesses where they are going to learn. Okay, they are not learning from them. But this has developed inherent in the minds of the men, and they're trying to suppress. This attitude has to be eradicated and curtailed, and we have to raise. This kind of webinars mainly meant to educate. We know everything, but not that teaching ourselves, yeah, I have to teach my knowledge or exhibit my knowledge to you. No, not like that. This kind of webinars, this kind of programs has to bring awareness in the minds of the people, and we have to think, we all have to gather and let us fight for our right and support the women and girl children who are in a very backward stage. We have to support them to move ahead and work for their life and lead a very happiest and beautiful life as God has bestowed them. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Caroline, ma'am. And I completely agree with you. And before I invite our next speaker, just to make the environment a little lighter, just like we tell our sons, okay, do this thing, we'll treat you with a chocolate. Why can't we do the same to the daughters? So that is how we are going to build an economic culture for all the household thing also that a lady is investing her time and energy into. And now I would like to invite Ms. Dr. Ruby Bakshi Kurdi, who is an award-winning educationist, author, TEDx speaker, and a global goodwill ambassador for many international causes and organizations. A multitasking supermom to her children at home, she's an empathetic yet wise friend to her students at work. Today, a prominent name in the world of education, she started her career as an educationist close to 2 decades ago. Miss Ruby Bakshi Kurdi, the stage is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Malini, for such a wonderful introduction. I was like, okay, let it go on. Let the music be on.
The pleasure is all mine, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Namaskar, everyone from sunny Switzerland. This has become like a COVID protocol. No highs, no hellos, but namaste. And I was very happy sitting here as an Indian and feeling proud, as one of my co-speakers was mentioning, though COVID has not been a very nice or good experience. It was like an attack all over the world. But still, there were a lot of things that happened if you look from positive point of view. It opened a lot of doors. It opened a lot of avenues for people sitting far away. And that's one of the reasons we are all connected at this platform, wonderfully created by Dr. Raja Rao and Dr. Caroline. I'm really happy and proud to be part of this fraternity over a period of time that I've been observing them grow and make it so amazing that I'm enjoying. I may not be there at all occasions, but whenever I see either the recordings or some of the talks, it really makes me feel proud because they started it just to connect people. And that's what is humanity for about. We have been knowing some of the things so much loud and clear. But still, when you connect and you hear from other people, it makes a double impact. And of course, when we are on an international platform where I see my friend Dr. Lilibeth, Dr. Charkora, who I see as people not from India, Dr. Syed, Dr. Emmy, I feel it's an international appeal, a global way of looking at and making an impact, which is much more louder and clearer. So a lot has been already said by my co-speakers wonderfully, telling about women empowerment, telling about women interdependence. But I would like to share my own experience by a storytelling because I always feel, whatever age we are, we always like listening to stories. Dada Dadi ki kahaniyan or Nana Nani ki kahaniyan. So I'm just going to share my experience. I'm not going to go with the rule of the book because I like sharing and telling people how I started women empowerment myself. Coming from a very traditional family of Kashmiri Pandits in India, where education is the main thing. They may not give the best things to their children in terms of good clothes or goodies or expensive toys. But one thing which is most important, irrespective whether you're a boy or a girl, is education. And that's what made me think, why, when my friends are getting these expensive toys, both my parents are working. I come from a family where my mom was working as well as my dad was working. And both were at very high positions. My dad was in pharmaceuticals and my mom was in government service. And I used to think, I think we are okay. We are quite fine that my parents can afford expensive gifts. But why don't we get these gifts when others are getting it? And then one fine day, my grandfather, who used to live with us, told me, there's nothing wrong. We are not rich or poor. We are okay. But the thing is, what is most important is if you are educated, you have the most important asset for life. That's what is going to stay with you, irrespective how old you are, wherever you are. And I think that stayed with me. That's one thing that stayed with me, which I thought, okay, yes, if I'm educated, I could be working in any sphere. I could be doing anything, whether big or small, doesn't matter. Every work that man does becomes important when he starts seeing the results, the output, and how it is having an impact on other people. And I think that was the turning point which stayed in my mind until now, when I'm here far, far away from my Karma Bhumi, India, my Janmabhoomi, India, in my Karma Bhumi in Switzerland, I see the impact and the differences, what I have been going through, and how I've been evolving as a person. When I was young, as I said, my grandparents would used to live with me. And one fine day, I told my grandmother, why are you always at home? Look at mom. Mom is working. Aunt is working. My other friends' moms are working. But why are you always at home? I think it's high time. You are old enough. You should also start working to be independent. And she looked at me like, does she even realize what she's saying? But she gave me a very beautiful smile. She said, Beta, you know how old I am. I said, age is nothing. Age is not a matter. You don't think about age. Tell me, why are you always at home? You should go to work. You should earn for yourself so that you can have a big house. You can have your own place to live. You can have your own room. So she said, I'm quite content. I live in my own room. I said, yeah, but this is our house. Imagine as a kid, I was so innocent. I'm telling my own grandmother that this is our house. You have to have your own house. And that's only possible if you are having your own job. So very innocently, my grandmother tells me, Beta, I'm not so educated. I was very young. I was 7, 8 years old when I got married. And by 15, I started staying with your grandfather. So back then, I was not getting the things, the privileges which you at this age are getting or which your mother got. So back then, women were only supposed to take care of family, produce children. Once the children are a little older, get them married, teach them. The cycle goes on and on. This is like the Indian mentality that I'm talking about many, many years ago. So then I told her, it's fine. It's never too late. This is a 7-year-old talking to her grandmother. I said, it's never too late. Nani, I will teach you. I'm going to educate you and I'm going to make sure whatever you know best, you can do it and earn something from it. Because still in my mind, I was thinking earning makes an impact. And then I started teaching her on the blackboard. My parents had got me a blackboard. I used to teach her ABCD, 1, 2, 3, 4. So at least she could understand the alphabets and write. So imagine the teacher in me, I think, started when I was 6 or 7 years old, back as a kid. And while growing up, bit by bit, while observing around me, while seeing the people around me, I could feel that there is a difference between men and women. There is a difference between what we should give to our girls and what we should not give to our girls. What careers are okay for girls and what careers are not okay for girls. So economic differences start right from family. Forget about later the society. It starts right from the family. And that's what is very important, how we can bring about a change in the mindsets of the people. It doesn't matter what the economic situation of the country is, how the economic are changing by the rule-making people, by the minister, like the great initiative by our Prime Minister Modi ji of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, or Save the Girl Child. These are some amazing initiatives which have been undertaken and people have started following. But still, it won't make a change unless everyone joins hands. If educated people like you and me join hands, doesn't matter which part of the world we are in, definitely change will come. Mindsets will change. And I remember growing up when some of my friends, they wanted to take a career as an artist. When they wanted to take a career as a dancer, they were great in dancing, they were great in music and arts. Some of the family members, they said, are you sure? After studying in such a good school, after having such high education, you want to become a dancer? Is that a career that you want to have for yourself? What will people say? Log kya kahenge? That was the first question. And that's what we need to change. Because once we change the mindsets of the people, once we change log kya kahenge quotes, automatically independence, women will move very, very gracefully towards whatever career they want to. They will move and make an impact when others are with them. And I firmly believe in the quote, empowered people empower people. Because if you're empowered, if you feel you have the authority, whether little or big, but if you feel whether financially, whether socially, whether in terms of having some platform, you may not have money, but you may have a platform. Once you feel you have this, let's join hands together to make it a reality. Let's not just think in numbers, I have this, I have that. Let's not just show off that we have this. Come together in a way that we can support giving independence economically as well as socially. Because if we talk about empowerment, women need to be empowered, especially because they always self-doubt. We talk about empowerment, we talk about giving rights to women, giving social rights to women, giving economic rights to women. It's all there. But what we definitely need to give women is the assurance you can do it. You have it in you. You just need to take that step further and be firm at it. Because when we self-doubt, nothing can make us go further. We are taking, like just as a baby is hesitant to take the first step. It's the same for us women. Doesn't matter what age we are in. Just as I was pushing my grandmother to start studying at the age, I think she must have been in 50s. When I was pushing her to take her first step, when we are pushing our children, when they are 2 years old, come on, beta, come on, you can walk, come on, you can walk. Or on the day of, when it's Dashera, we are all teaching them how to write, the first thing, how to write on the rice plate. When they make the first letter, all of us are jumping with joy. Wow, you did it. Wow, you did it. So that is what is required. Make them feel at every point, girl or boy, that they can do it. These are small baby steps. I'm talking something very, very basic. I'm not talking from a book, or I'm not talking about from a rule book ABC. It's something what I have seen and what I feel. And coming back here from India, I felt that there was a huge difference. In India, if a person can't speak English, you make fun of him. Oh, he's from a Hindi medium. He doesn't know how to speak Hindi. It doesn't matter whether he speaks Hindi or he speaks English or he speaks Tamil, Telugu, whichever language a person speaks. If he is able to earn a living, that is what is important. So first and foremost, what we need to again work on is providing occupation education to people. Only when we focus on changing the system, only when we focus on changing the curriculum, not making it on the basis of maths, science, English, and the basic subject. No, you have to pay attention that it is in such a way that both men as well as women, when they have been given equal opportunities, they can move forward together. Not differentiated on the basis of pink and blue, which Malini said very clearly in the beginning, not giving this direction of, yes, it's for my boy, you get a chocolate, and for a girl, thenga. That's not the right way. When you are putting your boy on a pedestal, it's very important for every mother to teach her daughter to say no to injustice. Whatever kind of injustice is happening, say no to injustice. And at the same time, teach your son how to respect a woman, how to respect your wife, how to respect your sister, as well as how to respect your daughter. Because maybe today he respects his mother, but when the same person becomes the wife, and the wife is becoming more successful, or she is doing much better than him, that's when the indifference starts happening. He may not be able to take it. He may not be able to tolerate that the wife is doing better than him, because that's what ego is hurt. So it's time, these small things when it comes to ego, these small things when it comes to education, the small things when it comes to mindset, if they change, believe me, whichever part of the world we are living, things will become easy. Things will be flowing more easily in a smoother direction. I have so many friends in Africa who told me that they have suffered so much because sitting there, they are given not some rights which are easily enjoyed by people in other spectrums, in other areas. So it's high time, when we have to come together and give a push to the lawmaking authorities that don't just sit in UN and make, some announcements. Make it, implement it. Make it and at the same time make it happen that every woman feels empowered in terms of social society, that she's socially strong, economically, and at the same time she feels if he can do it, I can do it. And that should be a healthy competition between everyone. Because the more we have healthy competition, the better it is. Because when I see that Dr. Charkora is doing great, I feel happy for her. I, clap my hands for her. But if I feel Dr. Supriya is doing good, and I'm like, how dare she do that? Uski sari, meri sari se safed kaise? We are just pulling our sisters down, and that's not going to work. Ladies, it's high time. We as women are the torchbearers. We as women are the people who are giving birth, right? Which is a basic right which no man has done and no man will ever do. So let's all join hands and see what else can be done to empower women. What else can be done to give the push that they are consistently going on at a big level. To conclude, as a founder of Réseau Interculturel in Switzerland, it's an association that I created where I'm trying to bridge the gaps between the haves and have-nots. Women who have achieved something, they are big in society, they have some great positions, and I'm trying to get more and more such women in my group. On the other hand, we have some immigrants, we have some refugees, who have nothing, they don't even speak the local language. Imagine how difficult it would be if you're in a country where you don't know the local language. How will you survive? So with this association, which is called Réseau Interculturel, I'm trying to bridge the gap between women who are haves and have-nots. So constantly we are having some themes where we are trying to give them opportunities of work. And I feel every step, even if it's a baby step, is a big step because you are giving them hope. You are giving them dreams that they can bring about a change. And in the past, we have conducted some of, small things like yoga sessions. We have conducted painting sessions. We have also conducted, a situation where women are teaching their own cooking things. What is native, let's say, a woman from Morocco, she taught how to cook Moroccan dish. And it was based at as minimum as whatever you want to give. So everyone was contributing a small amount of money just to cover the cost. At the same time, you're teaching a culture, and at the same time, you're making sure that you are giving some amount of money to these women who are coming forward. So whatever steps should be taken, big or small, time has come to show and see both at the same time that how we can benefit and what can be done to make it happen. So I appeal to everyone, just come together. Do not differentiate on the basis of caste, creed, or color. If you have the opportunity, if you have the resources, join hands. Let's all join hands to support and see that every woman is Atmanirbhar, that is self-reliant. If she has the knowledge, if she has the skills, whatever skills she has, try to inculcate, try to push those skills in such a way that she feels happy, she feels valued. Because the moment you make people feel valued, they give results. The moment you make people feel you have something, you need to work on it, you can definitely bring about a change. Do not be afraid of someone making fun of you. If you are having that self-reliance thing in yourself, no one can stop you. Only you can stop yourself. So be the change that marks and moves forward and keeps on looking at the positive side on the other side of the tunnel. So on that note, thank you so much. And let's join hands together to do whatever we can for women empowerment. All the best and keep shining. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Excellent. Great information you've given us, and your message will be carried to every heart and it will be continued. As really, I highly appreciate your organization, especially working for refugees and who are immigrants. Really great, ma'am. Wherever we are, we have to do some kind of social service as we are born on this earth for a certain purpose. So we have to fulfill it. So thank you very much, ma'am. As you said, boys in Indian culture, especially I will be concentrating on Indian culture. If you observe that India is in a developing state and most of the rural background, if you observe, they have financial lackness. They are economically poor. So that made to take the decision whether to girl to be educated or boy to be educated. So they concentrate on boy to be educated, because if boys are educated, if they get some employment, they take care of the family. But girl is educated, they say she belongs to other family, and they may not be provided any kind of support. How the in-laws will be? So this kind of attitude making to choose boys to be educated, and they are denying the girls. Apart from that, we know Indian culture dowry system that is also affecting a lot. So this making the parents to decide that as we have to educate the girl child and we have to take up the marriage, do huge dowry and all other traditions. We know very well, especially Hindu background, we have to give a lot of things which has to satisfy their in-laws. So materialistic benefits has to be high during marriage. So they have to spend huge amount on marriage and education. So lot of burden. If instead that, if they educate the boy child, he will take care of his sister, and